Hey guys, welcome to Beast Like Bentley. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you've already subscribed, then you have heard of Loki or you've at least seen him in several of our videos. Unfortunately, today we do not have a chippy, funny video of Bentley. We have a story of Loki.
Loki boy, can we please clean you? So many wounds. He's so wounded. I can't even lift him up.
Loki. Loki.
This smells so bad.
So, just to get into it really quick, what happened to Loki was he disappeared about 2 weeks ago. We had no idea where he went. We searched all over the neighborhood, high and low, calling his name, nothing.
Yeah, so every morning when we go for walks with Bentley, all I would do is like, Loki, Loki. That's all I did. I asked all the neighbors around, asked them like, have you seen Loki? Have you seen Loki? And none of them have seen Loki, and they were just telling me like he's either dead or someone took him. And I was just devastated for the last 10 days when Loki was not around. So thankfully our neighbor messaged us about Loki and told us that Loki is back but is badly injured. And we walked over, we looked at him, and we found a huge patch of his fur was red, pussy, and just, it looked bad. It looked really bad.
So what we're gonna show you right now, it's very disturbing. So if you have a weak stomach, brace yourself and just get ready for it, because it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah, for all you animal lovers out there, I'm sorry that you have to see this, because anyone who has a heart, who really loves animals, you would feel the pain just by looking at this. And we have been holding back our tears for the last 2 days, looking at him and treating Loki. It's hard. It's really hard. And yeah.
So we went next door, and this is what we found. From what we could tell when we saw him, is it was very obvious that somebody tried to burn him with something. We thought it was either hot water or oil. And we thought this because it has happened numerous of times with cats and dogs here in Malaysia. It's a thing because they either want to kill the animal and or even want to eat them. As disgusting as that sounds and cruel, it's just the sad fact that happens here.
Yeah, because when tourism was still a thing in Malaysia, especially here, there were a lot of Chinese tourists that would indulge in eating dog meat. In China, it is a thing to eat dogs, but here it's just, for us, it's cruelty. So yeah, we've had friends who told us that they have seen similar things happen to dogs and cats, where they come back with the similar types of burns on their skin, and it's not just a small little patch, it's like a huge area.
As you guys can see on Loki. Alright, so a little backstory on Loki. If you haven't been watching a few of our videos, Loki appeared about 6 months ago, and he would always be outside of our gate, usually hiding behind some of our plants, and he'd be really badly wounded. Not as severe as this, but some of the stray dogs would attack him throughout the night, and he would seek our house for protection. And there's been several times where we just found huge puddles of blood from his attacks. And over time, we would clean him as best as we could. We would care for him. And he just kind of like grew on us. He's a very good dog.
Yeah. So the first time he appeared was when he had a really bad, like a bite mark around his butt area. And we just saw like a puddle of blood in front of our gate. And he just wanted shelter. So I tried to clean his wound at that time, and he didn't trust us. He was very cautious. So what I did was I just tried to feed him, make sure he had water, and all that stuff. And eventually he started growing his trust with us. And even back then, when he first came to us, he was very defensive. He did not like Bentley. He was not friends with him at all. He would bark at Bentley as if he owned this house. And Bentley would just be like, but why, bro? Like, aren't we friends?
Yeah, because as you've seen, like, Bentley's very friendly and likes to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
But Loki, he grew up completely different. So, yeah, that didn't really work out that well at first.
Yeah. So then from then on, we would find him in front of our gate a lot more often. He would try to wait for us for our morning walks.
Yeah, he would actually sleep under our car at night because that's, you know, a safe place for them to sleep so they don't get attacked by other animals. And then when we would come out in the morning, he would greet us right away and like shake his little butt and then would go on walks with us.
Yeah.
And so over time, the morning walks turned into both morning and evening. And then eventually he was coming inside of our gate all the time. We would feed him, give him proper water because he's a street dog.
Yeah. He used to drink water out of our plants. Like, you know how water would just gather in some plants? And he tried to drink water from there. And I just tell him, no, Loki, like, you have proper water.
He's used to
here.
drinking out of like puddles and stuff like that. So at first when we gave him a water bowl, he was like, what is this? You know? So yeah, and then after that, then the whole pandemic hit, and then he just stayed in our carports the whole time.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then him and Bentley became best friends. And then so all the walks turned into feeding him more often, and then turned into play dates, and then, you know, sleepovers. And so he became part of our family. And he actually put on a lot of weight. He started gaining muscle because the first time we found him, he was really bony.
So skinny.
Yeah, you could see his ribs, you could see
And
like,
his fur
everything.
was just really, really bad. And we've even had neighbors that told us, hey, Loki looks really much better now that you've been taking care of him. And we definitely agree, because with proper care, a dog can be happier and eventually look better too. And that's what we want for him. And we've been doing that for him all the time.
Yeah, we've been giving him flea and tick medication. We've cleaned out his ears because he had some ear mites, and so we cleaned out that properly.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just taking care of him as if we were gonna take the same way we take care of Bentley.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we take care of Loki a little bit better.
Yeah. And then some days when we're not home, Loki, he's an adventurous boy. He likes to just go into any of our neighbors' gates and carport and just chill out. And the moment he hears us coming back, or he hears our car, he would just run back.
A great example of Loki is Red Dog. If you've seen the movie, then that is pretty much Loki. If you haven't seen Red Dog, definitely watch it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah. So then on the 29th of June, when we got back, it was really late at night, and he was actually already in our car porch, but then he decided to go out. And we're used to him, you know, going out sometimes as he chooses, and then he normally would reappear the next morning.
Or I would go downstairs, like, you know, in the middle of the night or something like that, like maybe like around midnight, and I would go and check on him and see if he was waiting there to get let in, and then he would come in.
Yeah, but then the next day we couldn't find him anywhere. And then as the days went on, we just kept looking for him. We started asking more people, and we started like using Bentley's account to try and ask anyone who has possibly seen them. Our family members have shared pictures of him with other people as well, and we've definitely prayed so hard for him, because we don't know if he was dead or alive. It was really hard.
It was a tough 2 weeks. We had a lot of dreams about him, and it's been pretty depressing.
Yeah, so what we do know about him is that he is not neutered. He's a very good dog. He has constant flea and tick medication because we provide that, and he has proper food and water at home. That's what we know.
But what we don't know is his age. There's kind of like a guess, like a guesstimate, he's probably around like a year plus, maybe around the same age as Bentley.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know if he's had any vaccines at all. We don't know any medical history at all.
Yeah.
We just know that he used to come to our place all the time with new scratches or wounds and stuff like that, and we would treat him as best as we could. And that's it.
Yeah. He would get really like a big boy type of behavior if he knows he's fenced in within our car porch area, and he would bark at other dogs like, I've got food, this is my land. But the moment he's out there with them, he just surrenders. He lays on his back and he's like...
He is the smallest one out of them all, out of all the other dogs in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so he would try and beef him up a little bit more with a lot of steaks and meat and chicken.
Yeah. Okay, so the current situation is right now, Loki is recovering. We've been cleaning his wounds. We've been, instead of just free walking with him, because, funny story really quick, yesterday, Regina told me not to take him out free walking with no leash, and he ended up going down the road quite a ways at the same time I was walking Bentley, and so I had to run up to him, pick him up, and walk him about 800 meters back to the house. And I was drenched in sweat. That was so painful because I had Bentley and then him in my arms just carrying him. Luckily, Bentley was a champ and walked like a really good boy, so it was okay, but it was just a really long distance.
I mean, I told him, like, make sure when you walk Loki, make sure you have a leash on him, because we don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna lose his mind. He's got a cone. He's got a leash. He's not gonna like it, but
but the reason is because he doesn't like to. The moment you put a leash on him, he just stands his ground. He doesn't move at all. And so what I did yesterday, after we got back, after I learned my lesson, I had some steak in the fridge, thankfully, and then I lured him. I was practicing walking with him, and it actually worked. We eventually went out into the field, and he did his business, and then we walked back, and he's like, oh, if I walk with you, I'll get some food. Okay, great. And obviously it was some really good food, so it did work. And so now we've been practicing working with him, walking on a leash. It's still a little like, he likes to stop a lot.
He's definitely better today.
He was better today.
Yeah,
so.
He did one full pee, like he just stood by the tree and just did everything.
It's like 2 minutes long.
Just everything.
One great thing about him is he doesn't go to the bathroom inside our car porch, like at all. He's never done it before.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He just waits, so he knows. Like, he knows his boundary. He knows what he's supposed to do, except for walking a leash. It's foreign to him, so we're easing into it. We're figuring it out, and he's learning. But so, anyways, guys, the current situation is that we're gonna take him to a vet right now, actually, to get a second consultation, see what they can do about neutering him, a possible vaccine, as well as some extra care, just so that they can look at the wound and give us some more medical supplies. That way, we have more than enough
to care for him. Yes.
To care for him, and then if they have any techniques or anything that we need to look out for, because we've never cared for a dog wounded this bad before, and so we're new to it. And so any advice that they can give us to help his recovery, because we want him to get back into his proper weight and grow that beautiful fur that he once had.
We also like to thank all of you who has given us all the support that you've shown on his Instagram account and also his Facebook account.
And if you guys do want to stay updated on Loki's condition, you can follow Bentley's page at Beast Like Bentley. It's right here. And lastly, guys, we just want to thank all of you for the tremendous support and love and prayers that you have given Loki. We really do appreciate it, and we know that Loki does as well. We started a GoFundMe the other night, and it has helped out so much with the medical bills, and it's going to continue to provide for him and anything that he needs, for more medical supplies, for food, and anything else that he needs. And if you guys would like to support, a simple share is always appreciated. There's a link down below.
Yeah. And sharing this will not cost you anything, so we would appreciate if you could share it with your friends and your family, this the whole video and the link as to how you can help out, or just your moral support alone is very, very much appreciated. We we cannot thank you enough as to how overwhelmed we feel with the kind of love that you've shown Loki and us, of course.
And if you guys ever want to send a gift box of any sort to either Bentley or Loki or any dog in the area that you just want to show support and love to dogs, we have an address down below in the description, and you can send anything you want to that address.
Yeah.
So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for keeping Loki in your prayers, and we'll see you again on another episode of Beast Like Bentley. Bye, guys.